Congressional leaders say they'll support the bipartisan agreement reopening the government and avoiding financial default. The Senate is expected to approve the agreement tonight, and then it will go to the House of Representatives, where U.S. Representative Lois Frankel says she'll be one of those voting in favor of it.
And I'm glad that reasonable people have finally listened to each other. Yes, I'm going to support this solution tonight. It's temporary, but I think it's the best we can do for now, and I hope we do better going forward.
Vote is set for after dinner. The bill raises the debt ceiling through early February, when Congress will have to take it up again. We are joined right now by Dave Wentley, an investment advisor. Dave, thanks for joining us today.
My pleasure.
This is a huge sign of relief, I know, for many investors, for many people, for Americans all over the country right now. The 11th hour, it's here, prolonging really of what is to come. Really, this was a deal that's going to essentially just push this back to February. What was your reaction to this?
Well, as you just said, a huge sigh of relief. The worst case scenario was off the table because the default would have been absolutely terrible, not only for us, but around the globe. We have moved it down into February, but I think at least we have some time where some of the cooler heads that ultimately prevailed will be able to sit down and maybe work through some of these issues so that we're not back up against this in January and February.
Given the turbulence of the last 16 days, what's your advice for investors?
I would say keep going. My advice is always don't make rash investment decisions based on short-term events. This has turned out to be a short-term event. Keep an eye on things, understand what you're investing in, but don't let this deter you from owning stocks for the long term.
And what could we expect from the stock market tomorrow? We were talking beforehand, this could radically
go. The funny thing about the market, once they saw that the deal was going to be done, it's already looked past it. So you may see a sell-off tomorrow as they're looking at other things, such as corporate earnings. We're in the middle of earnings season, so they may be looking at other things. Or they may just be, somewhat hungover from what we've dealt with the last few weeks, that you could see the market sell some of the gains that they had today.
And you mentioned beforehand during a commercial break the idea of the commission that has been formed because of this, possibly going into the future and avoiding what we've already gone through. Tell us more about that.
Well, there's a core group of them, and basically what they said is we're going to begin to work in this in December because we don't need to come up against this again. And what we saw was that basically the people that pushed this through and got it to the vote were the ones that were involved. And I think we're going to see more of that in December. So I'm somewhat optimistic about January, February.
We can only hope they'll help greatly.
Right.
All right, Dave, thanks so much for your time
My
today.
pleasure.
Well, coming up in the next half hour, Northwood University president and economics expert Dr. Tom Duncan joins us with a look at what this short-term deal means for you in the long run. Kelly?
Jay, thank you. Right now.